Welcome back to Ron's Trail Mix. Today we're back on the bush road. We're going to make a corduroy road. I've been saying this for a while, which I started. Then the excavator broke down, so week and a half, 2 weeks later, got that fixed and I'm back at it. There's two big poplar trees right where I'm crossing, which is good news because I'm going to drop them. One's fairly large, the other one's kind of medium sized, but they're going to be handy because I'm gonna need those logs for this crossing. And also there's a lot of little maple saplings nearby that haven't had a chance to get much sun because these two trees are hogging all the sunlight. So let's get rid of those right now, and I think these other trees will flourish once they get more sun. The poplars, they're not really, there's a lot of oak and maple in here that could really flourish if get rid of these trees that are kind of hogging the canopy right now. So we'll get set up here. There's probably the sun's right in the way, but this big guy here, he's got to be, that's got to be 50, 60 feet high, that one. And then this one here beside it, I think that's going to go. Looks like beside this big one I'm dropping, there's a dead tree leaning up against that, so we'll take care of that one first so everything's safe. So let's get the chainsaw warmed up and get these dropped, and then I'll cut them to length. And this is where we're going to cross. I got a culvert down here, that's not where I'm putting it, but I started getting logs in there earlier, then the machine overheated and kind of shut me down for a bit. But we'll get this big guy here bucked up into probably 10-foot lengths. Then we'll bring the excavator in and toss it in this wet spot. Then I'll start putting the fill in. Then we'll finally continue this trail onto some drier, higher land. Well, that went well. Pretty straight. It's actually a pretty nice straight tree, but it's going to come in handy for this crossing. That really opened up the canopy, and I didn't hit that spruce over there. That's a bonus, so didn't do any damage to anything. So I'm going to cut this up into 10-foot lengths, and then we'll bring in the excavator at some point. So in the last video, I was back in the bush with the KX080 and it overheated. I didn't really know what it was at the time. The press stone was leaking. I didn't see any pipes that were cracked or burst. But anyway, I limped it back up to the yard here and did some looking. And this assembly here, this bolts onto the side of the engine. And then there's a pulley here for the, it's a fan belt. Anyway, the bearing inside of this went, it's a needle bearing. And this was basically, should be nice and straight, was laying on an angle and the fan was up against the radiator. Anyway, I thought, well, okay, I can fix that. Just this part here. So I ordered it. $1,000 gave me this. I don't know. If maybe leave some comments, see what you think that should be worth. To me, that's you Yeah, sure, you got a machine piece of material there. There's a needle bearing in there. Some cast metal for this to house it. That's all I got for $1,000. I don't know. I don't want to go on a rant, but to me that was a major ripoff. But anyway, I got it back on. Took some doing. The machine's not overheating now, and we're good to go. So we're going to get back in the trail there and start continuing the process, which I had to drop 2 weeks ago because of this little part here. Okay, we're going to pick up a couple logs here, and only 100 feet from, or less, actually I'm less than that, from where we're going to be putting these logs across for the crossing of the wet spots. So let's start the machine up and grab these and get on our way. Pick up both these. I got the third log in the way. There we go. Got him. Not quite even. We'll have to even these up a bit. We gotta weave our way through the trees here. Okay, we got those logs cut. double layer of logs on. So I got tons of logs. Started out with hardly any, now I'm sitting on quite a stockpile. These aren't any good for firewood or lumber, so I just let them rot in here. Covered up the culvert. Okay, now I need to find some dirt. Just gonna try and dig a hole off this one side here. It's actually in the wet spot. I think there's sand under there. Actually, it's probably going to be a pile of roots right in front of that poplar tree. Let's see what we got here. Scoop full of topsoil. Rock is good, but for only so far, then you can't get through it. Sandy subsoil there. That's good road building stuff. enough soil to cross this. Wasn't planning on digging this stump out, but it's got all the good soil under it. Oh yeah, that thing's not moving. Move after we take all the soil off around it. Stuff down there. looks like my mic's gone dead, so hopefully you can hear me. Just going to smooth this out. Got some drier material, put it on here. The other side here, finally starting knocking some trees down. Well, I guess that's, we're going to call it for tonight. Give you a little tour before I leave. Things are wet as usual. Seems like it's raining quite a bit. Guess you shouldn't complain about things being too wet. It was extremely dry last year. So this is what I got done tonight. I cut down a couple of big trees over here. One there. I tried to get the stump out, but that didn't work. This I filled with logs and dirt. So I basically got a bridge here. Culvert down in there. There's not really much water here anyways. Put a culvert in case some water flows through. Then continues across here. This takes us through the kind of wet spot. And that's the end for tonight, and next I'll be heading up the side of this hill, so I'll be high and dry, but a lot of trees to knock over, and I'm going to be on the side of a hill. So that was it for tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the road making. Hope to see you back on Ron's Trail Mix next time. Bye for now.